It's been almost a year since my autism diagnosis, and over the course of that year, one of the things that I have worked on is reclaiming autistic joy. When I first heard the term autistic joy, I didn't really understand what it meant. Like many of our experiences, autistic joy is an intense emotional feeling of joy and elation at things others often don't understand. And I realized through my research of this that I was denied that joy as a child, as I'm sure many of us were. I was often told that my reactions to things were too much, that I shouldn't get too excited or I may get disappointed later, that I needed to be quieter in my excitement. Don't jump, don't flap, don't stim. Someone might think you're odd. But I was so excited as a kid. And the smallest, oddest things would give me that sense of autistic joy. And that is actually part of the definition. The fact that many people can't understand or relate to the experience that you're having. The extreme joy and excitement over something that seems odd or of no interest to those around you. For me, creating things always brought me a sense of peace and joy. As a child, I would get excited about making projects, show them off with great pride, and usually got very little reaction. So as an adult, I learned to keep those things hidden, secret, private. Never to get too excited about anything for fear that I would be disappointed later. Never to show my excitement, physically, visibly, to anyone. I learned to deny myself things that brought me joy, to put those things off. They weren't that important. No one else seemed to care, so why should I? The intensity of my experience as an autistic person has always troubled me. The intense emotional swings and facilitation between extreme sadness and happiness always seemed to be the most problematic feature for me. Hiding my joy, along with my anger and my sadness and everything else that felt too extreme, too much, just felt like something I was supposed to do. And while I never really stopped creating, I learned not to share those things, not to expect a reaction, and really just not to get excited about much of anything in life. Over the past year, though, I've learned to reclaim those big feelings, to not consider myself too much, too loud, too excited, too sad, too angry, too anything. For me, being autistic comes with big emotions, big sensitivities, and that's just part of how my system works. It's nothing to be ashamed of or to hide. Finding small ways every day to reclaim my own experience, to allow those intense emotions, even if they are in private, and to tell myself the opposite of the messages that I received as a child, that I'm not too much, I'm not a problem, and I'm not something that needs to be hidden. A joyless life is not much of a life at all. A life of extremes is difficult, but a life of no extremes is, well, empty. Allowing myself to indulge in things that bring me joy for no other reason than the fact that they bring me joy has been immensely healing to my inner child and to my grown-up autistic self. Realizing that I can create things just because they make me happy. I don't have to profit off of them. I don't have to make it a side hustle. It doesn't have to be some purpose in order for me to allow myself to have fun, find joy, experience the happiness that I denied myself for so many years. focusing on things, giving myself the space to do that, and allowing the time to just work those things out has brought me so much joy and reclaimed a little piece of me that I thought was lost forever. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you find some things that bring you autistic joy. Here are some of the crafts that I've made over the years, things that I never shared with anyone, never exposed for fear that, well, I'd be told they were silly or a waste of time or not quite good, not quite right. But there are things that I made that brought me immense joy. Paintings, creations, crafts, DIYs, things that I make with things I already have. Decorating walls in the style of stuff that I like, and it doesn't matter if anybody else enjoys it. That's what brings me joy, and I'm gonna spend the rest of my life finding more ways to bring in, experience, and hold space for that autistic joy. Curating little spaces, displaying my collections, making crafts that I love, and sharing them with other people. These things do bring me joy. And I'll have to admit, I did get a little excited when I put this video together to share with you. So I truly hope that it brought you some joy, and maybe opened your eyes to the ways that you might be hiding your own autistic joy. As always, thank you for watching. Please leave me a comment, subscribe, and like. You're appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one.